The loser of this match bows out for the season. The winner earns the right to play the loser of the second semi-final in next week's preliminary final. The second semi-final between Claremont and West Perth is taking place at Claremont Oval this afternoon, and our very own Michael Genovese is down at Tigerland to keep us updated with all of the action. Good afternoon to you, Michael.
Good afternoon, boys. Yes, down here at Claremont Oval, West Perth have just taken the field, and their fans are getting quite excited. They've turned out in numbers here at Claremont. They haven't won a final since 2003, and of course they're taking on the reigning premiers in Claremont, who are going for 3 in a row as Claremont just take the field now. And we'll take a look at the team list now, and one of the major names that isn't there at the moment is, of course, the skipper, Andrew Brown. That was the big one before today. His shoulder hasn't come up. He's unavailable for today, and Nicholas Winmar comes in his place. So that'll be a big blow. We'll find out how big later on. Of course, you have a look at the rest of their names, and there's so much talent in that Claremont lineup. The forward line is as good as it gets. You look at the ruck, Mark Seaby, one of the recruits of the season. Last time these two teams met, he had 55 hit-outs, so he'll be looking to repeat that. I caught up with the coach of Claremont Tigers, Mark Webb.
I think it's one that they all understand the importance today. We've got an opportunity here to get ourselves in the grand final. So we're playing quality opposition and not to take it for granted, and to make sure that we're out there and we put our best foot forward early.
West Perth have been able to get quite close to you on 2 occasions this season. How do you combat their game style?
Yeah, look, it's been a pretty tight tussle both times we've got over the line, so I think that we should understand that we've got the ability to beat them, but not to underestimate them as well. So, look, they're pretty competitive. They've got a very good midfield and some dangerous forwards, so we're going to make sure, I think, that the game's going to be won in the midfield battle, and hopefully our quality mids can control it from there.
Very confident Mark Webb, and of course he'll be doing battle with West Perth. Now, they finished second. The teams have met twice this year. Claremont have won both by around about 3 goals. We'll take a look at the West Perth lineup, and they're looking strong all around the ground as well. You look at a guy like Nick Rodder. He's a teenager. He's a bit of an X-factor for West Perth. He can play forward, he can play back, he can even pinch hit in the ruck. So there'll be a few AFL scouts interested in him come November, no doubt. Now, I caught up with the coach of West Perth, Billy Monaghan. This is what he had to say.
Oh, look, they're a quality side and have been for a number of years. We just need to make sure all the processes and plans that we have go well, and they won't go well over the full game. So we just need to stay positive with it, defend really hard, and then try and use the ball well going into our forward 50.
The all-important second semi-final winner goes straight through. Let's go to Michael Genovese, who's on hand there down at Tigerland. Michael.
Yes, boys, not quite half-time. 28 minutes gone in the first, and it's Claremont up by 3 points. Although West Perth have been in control of most of the game, they'll be ruining the fact that they are behind at this point. 1 goal 6 with Mark Crisp the only goal scorer, as we take a look at some of the highlights. As you can see, it was a very hot, intense game of footy to start with. In fact, they went for 15 minutes without a goal before Mark Crisp, as I mentioned, was that first goal scorer, and didn't the West Perth crowd go wild with that. But plenty of tackling and plenty of biff. The intensity has certainly been high. Claremont got on the board through a great Chad Jones tackle, which resulted in a Ian Richardson goal. It was their first, and it didn't happen until the 25-minute mark of the game, and Ian Richardson doesn't mind a celebration, but it got Claremont back into the contest and into the lead here at Claremont Oval. So just repeating that scoreline, Claremont 2-3-15 to West Perth 1-6-12. So a 3-point ball game between the two ladder leaders. Of course, as we know, in contention is that spot in the WAFL Grand Final. It's hot, it's a very tight contest, plenty of tackling and chasing pressure. So it's a ripper down here, boys. Back to you.
Second semi-final is taking place down the road at Claremont Oval, and Michael Genovese has been there from the start. Michael, just take us through the first half in what looks as though it's been a terrific match.
Yeah, well, firstly, I can confirm that the siren is definitely working here at Claremont Oval. It's been a cracker of a game. We've got Claremont up by 3 goals at this stage, half-time, but West Perth came out firing in that second quarter, kicking the first 3 goals. But we'll take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. But it seemed to spark a little bit of life into Claremont. Mark Seaby's been one of their better players. His ruck work has been outstanding, getting it to the hands of guys like Jake Murphy, and Paul Medhurst has been lively as well. But Claremont, they almost went to sleep a little bit in quarter time. They came out, they did kick the first goal, as we take a look at that now. Some fantastic teamwork, sharing that one around. And it was Jack Bradshaw, of course, getting it over the line. But at that point, it was all West Perth. They kicked the next three. Nelson finding his way, penetrating into the forward line, and we find Chris dishing it out to Fowler with a handball. And didn't the West Perth crowd absolutely love that. But I can confirm one thing at this point. It was hot in that first quarter, and there was a report that I can tell you about. Josh Mellington was done for charging on Wingmar, Nicholas Wingmar for Claremont. So that started a little bit of biff, but it certainly got the boys fired up for that second half. But like I said, it was all West Perth for the midpoint of that second quarter. Mark Hutchings really came to life, and he's probably been one of the better players for West Perth, if not best on ground. He's had 16 possessions to half-time, and he's kicked 2 goals. Ian Richardson went back with a flight of the ball, took a great mark, and kept things simple, just going long to Mark Seaby. If you're going to kick it to anyone high, you might as well kick it to the tallest man on the ground. Seaby, good enough to go back and slot that through to help give Claremont a 3-goal lead at half-time here at Claremont Oval. As I said, West Perth taking it by the scruff of the neck, and Mellington, the man on report for charging in the first quarter, was able to get the first one, and then a huge clanger from the Claremont player there, and it got him the second goal. And they really got a sniff out of that. They really got their tails up, and they've been all over them. As you can hear, the siren still works here. Ian Richardson finding that left foot of his and putting it through the goals and giving them a 2-point lead here at three-quarter time. Claremont 10-10-70 play, West Perth 9, 14-68. They need to lift that kicking efficiency if they're going to claim that spot in the WAFL Grand Final.
Go down to Michael Genovese at Claremont Oval.
Yes, it's all still happening. The game's still pretty much in the balance. West Perth are in front by 9 points. 29 minutes gone in the final quarter, and the West Perth fans are going absolutely ballistic. This last quarter has been one for the ages. Only a couple of goals kicked for West Perth, and it's been enough to put them in front. 1 goal for Claremont. So, as it stands at the moment, the game's still very much in the balance, but there can't be less than a couple of minutes to go. It looks like West Perth, at this point, have booked themselves a spot in the WAFL Grand Final. 9 points up, only a couple of minutes.